Today, we will be taking a closer look at one of my favorite endgame weapon, the Torid. This weapon is somehow similar to the pox, and if that secondary AIDS spreading testicles has a mother, then that would be this weapon. So, join me as I give you all the nitty-gritty details about the Torid, and let me share to you the mod setup I'm using for this weapon at endgame levels. So what's so special about the Torid? Taking a look at its stats, we can see that it has a really high total damage, good critical chance, very high status chance and very high accuracy. Now these are not included on its description, but the Torid fires projectiles that stick on surfaces and bodies. It leaves a toxic cloud which lasts for a couple of seconds, which deals tons of damage if you fire it correctly on a target. The downside of using this weapon though, is that it has low magazine size and draws ammo from the rare sniper ammo pool, so probably, you need your carrier or those ammo mutation mods if you want to take this weapon in long survival runs. In addition, the projectile fired by this weapon has travel time and it arcs heavily, so, if you happen to mod it with heavy caliber, then you might need some practice to hit those enemies. It's manageable but kind of annoying at first time. Also, the cloud's damage diminishes with distance, and lastly, this weapon has a low fire rate which I find really horrible. Like its projectile, the fire rate is also manageable, and in fact, you can add some fire rate mods to take care of this negative. The question now is, how do you mod the Torid for endgame levels? There are actually a couple of ways, and it depends on what frames you are using, and what faction you are facing. If you are using it with a Warframe that can strip enemy armors, say, someone like Ash, then I suggest that you use a viral build. Enemies without armor will melt with a viral Torid in seconds, especially with Ash, as not only does his seeking shuriken shreds the armor of the enemies, but it also applies slash damage which procs bleed. And, remember that Ash has a passive ability that increases the duration and damage of bleed. Honestly, a viral Torid is really a good weapon choice for Ash. There's also those Warframes that love to camp, and also those who love to group enemies and destroy their armor. If you happen to be using Warframes like Vauban and Nidus that can group enemies efficiently, or Hydroid that loves to camp and destroy enemies with his puddle or tentacles, then I suggest you go for a corrosive build or any element you need, depending on the faction you are facing. The Torid is a pretty versatile weapon and it can be used in different scenarios, and I just love how it makes your life easier in endurance runs. Okay, I know you want some reference on how to build a viral, corrosive or gas Torid, so, let's proceed to the modding section of this guide. First is the viral build. So, I have two dual status mods, Rhymed Rounds and Malignant Force, to create the viral element. I did choose dual status mods over 90% elemental mods as I want my status chance to be close at 90% so I can proc those status much often. In addition, I did add Vigilante armaments for more multi-shots, and Vigilante Fervor for more fire rate. Not to mention that two of these mods will give me 10% more critical chance for my Torid. Now that would result to some orange crits as I have point strike on my Torid. Heavy caliber is a personal preference, and like I have said earlier, it's kind of annoying at first seeing your projectile arcing so much and not hitting the intended target, but that can be dealt with by practicing how to aim and shoot your Torid. Also, shooting the projectile on the ground, or shooting it in close range works too. But like I've said, this mod is personal preference and you can replace it with any mods that you want. Say, you can add Vital Sense on this slot, or you can go with Firestorm mod to increase the area of your toxin clouds, or you can add another Vigilante mod to increase the critical chance of this weapon. In addition, if you happen to have a Riven mod, then just replace Vigilante armaments with your Riven. A good Torid Riven would probably have the status chance and damage stats on it, but critical chance and as well as multi-shots are also considered as good rolls. If you happen to have rolled a good critical chance on your Torid, then I suggest that you equip it with Hunter Adrenaline as it works well with the viral setup. Lastly, the two dual status mods are replaceable and you can change Rhyme Rounds with High Voltage to create the corrosive element, or go with Thermite Rounds to form the gas element, perfect for Corpus factions. So this is how I mod my Torid for endgame levels. You can either follow it or make it as a reference to create your very own Torid build. So that's it. Torid is one amazing infested gun and I highly suggest that you try it for yourself. I do hope that you learn something again from this video, and I hope to see you on my next one. Let me know your thoughts on Torid by sharing it on the comment box below. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. You can also subscribe to our channel if you like to see more Warframe videos from the Grind team. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.